Owl medicine. Maybe you've heard that owls represent death. My Apache Mama Maria says that the strong association of owls with death in a bad way was rather a more recent addition to native lore, and she identifies it as having to do with Christianity and Christianity's effect on a lot of native teachings. Well, death has not always been seen as a bad thing. Death itself is a word that we could unpack to represent total change, surrender into the unknown. And that, my friends, is the medicine of the owl. So if you're seeing owls, if you love owls, check it out. Different types of owls have different gifts and abilities and therefore different meanings. The first animal guide that I was given by Spirit when I got really intuitive accidentally was the barn owl. The barn owl came to me, and as barn owl, I found a rock that's in the perfect shape of an actual real barn owl. Scared the hell out of me. And I learned when I went to Maria and said, hey, I think I have this guide as a barn owl. It's kind of freaky, kind of scary. She's like, yeah, that's because it represents death, but in a good way. She said the barn owl, which is known as Tronchizi in her Apache language, represents clairaudience, the ability to hear across the veil. In other words, to hear the voices of Spirit, to hear the voices of our beloved departed, to hear what's unspoken. And owls, she would say too, represent seeing beyond deception, seeing beyond the lies. And I think this is a skill we could all use right now. Am I right? When I first was encountered this owl energy, this barn owl energy, it was scary to me because I could feel it as that ultimate letting go, that death energy, and it scared me. But the more I leaned in, the more I realized that this is the point of faith that we all have, that there's more to our reality than just what we see, and that death is also an opening into a greater reality. So to help make it friendly for myself, I set my intention to find a stuffed animal that was a barn owl. Now at the time, this was 20 years ago, or well more, 24 years ago, and there weren't that many like wild animals, stuffed animals. I went to Disneyland, I think it was on my birthday, and there was this little, in the, what's that, Bear Country Wilderness part of Disneyland, there was this cart selling wild animal, stuffed animals, like they had coyotes and wolves, and they had a barn owl. So I got myself this stuffed barn owl that actually makes the barn owl look cute instead of terrifying. If you have been called by the owl, if you find yourself thinking about owls, hearing owls, seeing owls, and you feel like they're a messenger to you, my advice is don't be scared. Even if you do hear that they represent death, it's a good death. It's a good thing to be able to see across the veil, to be able to bridge the worlds. And this is the perfect time to embrace this part of yourself. So if you're an owl person, hoot it up. Hoo hoo! Hoo hoo hoo! Enjoy.